Okay, even if you're not an expert creating content. I appreciate whoever just did that, whoever sent that summary. It doesn't tell me who it is, but okay. Next. Guys, when I started, I was not an expert. When I started, I knew very little about what the heck I was talking about. Very little about entrepreneurship. I knew a little bit about Instagram. So I knew, and I think I've said this before on here, and if I haven't, let me tell you, if you're not creating content, you're dead. If you're not publishing, you're dead. You gotta produce content, and I knew that, and I understood that at the beginning. So for me to create content on something that I was not an expert at, I had to figure out a way to actually validate and ensure that I knew what I was talking about, or else I knew I would get ripped to shreds and I'd have no chance of ever making it, okay? So here's exactly what I did. And when I tell you exactly what I did, I want you to understand that, like, if you follow what I'm telling you to do here, you could do the same thing. I would pick a topic that I wanted to talk about, that I wanted to learn about, okay? And then I would go and I would look up videos and information on YouTube from big name influencers or a source with credibility, okay? And I would watch them. Sometimes they would be 10-minute videos, 3-minute videos, or an hour-long videos. And I would sit down and I would consume content. A lot of you guys at the beginning are like, how do I create content without it taking so long? You pay for it. And if you don't want to pay for it, then it's going to take a while. Please understand, this is your business. This is what is going to pay you money. You have to take this seriously. You have to dedicate the time. There is no shortcut to this. It's hard mother freaking work, all right? But once you get it down, it is glorious and wonderful. And let me tell you, I can create content 10 times faster than I could when I began, but only because I went out there and I created so much content. Yeah, at the beginning, you're probably gonna have to dedicate like an hour a day to creating content at the minimum, if you don't know what you're talking about. But if you follow this, you can get it out there. So I know this is more inspirational than teaching, but please take this seriously. I would go, I'd find the topic. For me, it was social media. So who did I follow? Tai Lopez, Gary Vaynerchuk, Nathan Chan, I think I was at the beginning. I was like Daniel D. Piazza, smaller influencers, but people that still ran in my circle. I ate up what they said, and then I went out and I said, I would create a Facebook post or an Instagram post or whatever. And I would say something along the lines of, so today I was watching Gary Vaynerchuk and he said blah, 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 blah. This is so, so important, okay? When I structured it and framed it that way, I didn't get a lot of engagement. Good content, but why didn't I get good engagement? Because, so today when I was watching Gary Vaynerchuk, doesn't really spark a lot of curiosity or highlight a pain point, does it? Remember our written content formula? Trying to try this back to you because I know many of you will make this mistake today when I was watching Gary Vaynerchuk. Don't do that. Headline first. So what I would do is I would go out and I would find that topic and I would pull the content and I would pull the most sexy part. If this was the YouTube video transcript that I would watch, I would go through and I'd be like, what is the sexiest part about what I just learned? Okay? 10,000 new followers a month on Instagram, ... Catchy headline. Then I would go and be like, did you know that there are people out there actually doing this? I was watching Gary Vaynerchuk today, blah, 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 blah. Then tell the content, literally take what they said, regurgitate it in your own words and your own understanding, and ask people their thoughts on it. That's all content is when you're getting started. If you're not a thought leader, which not everybody is, okay? Not everybody's called to be Elon Musk or Gary Vaynerchuk or Joe Adams or whatever, right? At the very beginning, you don't know anything. That's okay, because a lot of people don't either, okay? So when you're gonna go create content, pick your industry, pick your niche, go follow influencers that are there, take their content, pull the sexiest, most appealing part out, put it as the headline, regurgitate what they say, give them credit, ask for engagement at the bottom. Does that formula make sense? Comment yes below. Comment yes right now if that makes sense. I want to see this. Okay? Ooh, that's important. Okay, good. Double yes. Was that an eye-opener for a couple of you for content creation? Okay? The second part. Yes, yeah. Okay, good. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Good. All right. The second part, way to create content if you're not an expert. All right? This works really well for visual content, video content, or if you are good at taking someone's thoughts and studying, if you're really good at like concepts and you study what like a Gary Vaynerchuk would say and take those same concepts and like cover all those same concepts with your own wording without giving him credit, you could do that. Because that's conceptual, that's not stealing an idea. You can't plagiarize, obviously, but you can steal conceptual ideas. But here's what I would do. For video content, even for written content, I would follow the formulas this way, and especially for video content. I would go and I would look and I would study the content that got the most engagement. If you are on the Instagram platform, which we'll get to, this is crucial and critical. This is why social info is so awesome, because I can go pull viral photos right off Instagram so fast. If I know that a picture of me doing this over New York City or something like that, an inspirational background, is naturally going to get a lot of likes, what should you do? You should go find a backdrop as close to that as possible and do this as well, okay? Maybe in your own unique way, maybe yours is this or like, yeah, like whatever. But like, if you can study content that works and create that image around it, and model after it with you in the picture or the video, that's going to get engagement because you know it works over here. And then look at the storyline that they did and say, okay, what are the conceptual ideas? This over the water like this, probably inspirational. So I know that if I have a photo and it looks like X, and down here it's inspiration, the content that I need to create, that says inspiration. Can't you see it? Okay, the content that I need to come over here and create is a picture that looks similar to X and talks about inspiration, okay? If I know that a picture like C, different letter, okay, is, I don't know, a picture of a screenshot of a results-based image and they're talking about a case study, then what should I do? Screenshot of results-based image of C, talk about a case study. Does that make sense? Model what works. Here's what I do. At the beginning, if you know nothing, and I promise you, you know more than you realize, okay? But if you know nothing, talk about exactly what they said and put it in your own words. Once you know enough and start seeing results in your own industry to where you have something unique and original to share it in the same format and style that they do, because that's what's going to get the most engagement. And remember, Facebook doesn't care who you are. A lot of these people are like, oh, no one's going to watch that or see that because so-and-so is already doing it. Well, you have a different audience. Facebook doesn't care. If people engage on it, people engage on it. Content-driven platform that Facebook wants to increase their user experience. That's why it's so important. That's why I started with that core foundation. Okay? And always make sure I use these. Remember, somebody asked the question, should the influencers be on your platform? I'm only copying content from influencers that are using my platform or that are in my niche so that I can actually see that, okay? Don't copy. I mean, I'm not talking about identical copies, guys, but you know what I'm saying. Like the same styles. That's what's going to work. Influencers are an influencer for a reason, all right? Whether it's a good reason or a bad one, they're there. You're not emulating others' content at this point, are you? Your stuff feels original. Oh, no, not anymore. But when at the beginning, oh, heck yes, I was. I was like, look, because like, you're not copying people. Remember this. Here's what I'm not telling you to do. What I am not telling you to do is go listen to Russell Brunson, and Russell Brunson says, you're just one funnel away. Here are the 3 points of a funnel, point 1, point 2, point 3. And then literally copy and pasting that and saying, build a funnel that makes money. Here are the 3 points. Copy, paste, boom, 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 boom. That's not what I'm saying to do. What I'm saying to do is go in and say, okay, Russell Brunson talked about these 3 points about a funnel that's making money. I pull out the sexy term, I put on my topic. Then go and say, okay, he's talking about this. Ask a question. Be okay with not, like, there's a difference between asking questions in your content and providing value and making statements in your content and providing value. At the beginning, document what you're learning through this, and that's how you provide value. Once you're an influencer, document what you've done or share with them what you've done to provide value. Difference between what you've done and what you're learning, okay? See the difference there? Corey Hiddleston, that's where I get held up. Corey, what do you mean? This is a part where I think a lot of people struggle. So I'm going to take time here. And I know, oh gosh, we got a big move along. I know that we are short on time here, but like, I really want you to understand this. What don't you, how many times to post each day? A lot. We'll get to that in a second. If your content is info from a credited website, it is best to paste the URL in your post or still generalize. That way it pulls away if it redirects off your post. No. Listen, I am not saying copy and paste an article. Please do not copy and paste an article. That is plagiarism and you shouldn't do it. What I am saying is you can go and watch a YouTube video from someone. Or you can go and read an article and say, hey, I was reading such and such an article, blah, 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 blah. Or you don't even have to specify, hey, today I was studying blah, 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 funnels and Facebook ads. And what I learned was that if you do this and this and this, you're going to get this and this and this result. All right? What have you done? You have now not said, this is how you do it. You have now said, this is what I learned that will happen. And somebody else can provide value. If I go up to you and say, hey, Tom, or whatever your name is, I learned that if you dribble a basketball back and forth this way, you actually have better balance. And then if you keep your elbow in when you shoot, you have a better accuracy. If I've never done it, I'm not saying that it works. I'm saying that I learned that. Does that make sense? You've taken your responsibility out of it by saying, this is what I learned. Now, this is factual. Does that make sense? You got to be careful with it because ethics, morals. But do you see the difference? Okay, cool. Got it. It's my story. I'm working on it. Boom. Okay, got it. Perfect. I will stay up all night if you keep teaching. Okay. Feeling like I rip off people's content. Corey, don't rip them off. Okay. Tell people what you're learning through other people's content. I think that's the best way I can put it. Tell people what you're learning through other people's content. Okay. Josh Forty was telling me today that this is a perfect example. So I was on how the Facebook algorithm actually works. So I was on a masterclass today, and they were going over, and Josh Forty was presenting, or the speaker was presenting, talking about how the Facebook algorithm works. And I'm fascinated that people don't realize, because I didn't realize it myself, that it's a content-driven platform, blah, 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 blah. If you're not doing this, it makes sense why you will die. How many of you guys feel like you didn't understand this as well? Boom. Headline, educational, aha moment, call to action. Make sense? Comment makes sense below. We're going to move on. How often to post? I'm getting to the how often to post. I promise. I promise it's coming. It's the next thing right here. The profile funnel. Okay? It's happening. Makes sense. All right. Any questions real quick? Because now we're shifting gears.